Hello guys, Xpress64 here, and I am here today to play some more Minecraft on the Collision Pack. So last time you saw that me make an assembler. Since then I have done some slight work on the system, made it better and made it actually work, made some more inscribers, did a bunch of stuff like that. Then quickly remembered that assemblers are terrible because they can only craft 3 items at a time. And I thought of a item from, I believe it's RF Tools. Yes, from RF Tools that can craft up to 8 items at a time when you make the specific version. And we easily can have it. We can easily craft it. We have the materials, at least I believe so. And this item is called a crafter. For those of you who are familiar with my series, probably will remember this item from some of my other series. A crafter is a very simple RF Tools machine that is only crafted with redstone torches and crafting tables. Well, I need a lot of them, so let's grab some redstone, and I'd say let's grab, I don't know, that much wood? Seems good to me. So, I just made a point of planks. So let's see, we're going to need at least 6, so that's the minimum number, because we're going to need to make at least 3. But we're going to need to make at least 1 of these machines. Now, inside of this, we need this, which is iron and gold. Might as well make 2 of these. Why not? I have to craft some more crafting tables. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, there's no reason for us who are able to easily craft. Now, in the beginning, crafters might be hard to craft, even though they are fairly cheap machines. They can still be hard to craft because they just require a lot of power. But we don't have that problem because we're fairly far in the game. At least we're far enough in to make crafting tier 3s. Now, the thing about crafters is they can craft up to 8 items at a time, and you can actually save, you can actually save what they have in your inventory. I'm going to take a stack of stone, not 2 stacks, so that way I can save the inventory locked into a specific area. Now, I've already set up upstairs the cables so they are all running over. Set up, and all we have to do is run up there and jump in. Also, as you can see, I've gained even more levels. That's because when I'm off screen, I am just going to the XP farm that I have and just eating up levels, which I have recently learned is even easier if you shift. What I've been doing is I've been holding down the left click button to eat the XP. I've found out that if you shift left click, it actually eats the entire stack that you're holding, which I didn't know. Now, down here we have our crafter. We're going to have our crafters. I probably should have grabbed another item conduit, but for right now we're all good. So, things that we're going to need to craft is the 64K cell. The 64K cell is the best cell inside of AE, at least in my terms. So, first we're going to need to craft these. We can use normal Certus quartz, which makes this very simple. So we're going to need normal Certus quartz. I know we're going to need redstone. We're going to need calculation, logic. We're going to need dust, and we're going to need a little item from down here that I started making called glass. These are the first few items that we're going to need. And I'm going to throw them in here. So the first recipe, and off to active, on to active, because I don't want this running. So the first thing we're going to need is we're going to need to put these right like this. Put a logic plate in there. And then I believe it's redstone? No, did I get this wrong? Let's see, what is it? It is redstone. Redstone. So this is a mess up. And it was a logic. Yes, apply. So now it can craft 1K storage cells. the cool thing about this is that it actually can take from the it can take from down here. So now I'm going to quickly turn this on. Whoa! And it quickly eats it up, and that's on snail's pace. So it is a fairly fast machine, but that's not going to be a problem because we're going to be able to take it out of here fairly quickly. The only problem is we're going to probably quickly run out of materials. So, oh dear. Okay. On to activate. Or do it again. I mean, this is useful, but it's also not at the same time. Okay. Second thing that we're going to need to be able to craft is we're going to need quartz glass. Quartz glass is a fairly easy thing to craft. Just like that. Okay. Apply. We're going to have a lot of this by the end. Because I can't do these things. I might just not put these in right yet. So the next recipe that we're going to need to apply is the 4K cell. The 4K cell is like that. I believe it's a calculation up here, this here, and redstone like that. Yes, it is. So that's an apply. And then we want to put 4 in there. And it's on. So I have that, and we have a ton more short glass. So that's the 4K cell. Next, we're going to need the 16K cell. And I'm actually going to move these over a bit. I'm going to put this here, 1K, 4K, 16, 64K. So we're also going to need our engineering processors starting now, and we're also going to need glowstone. So I'm going to move this over one more, and I'm going to grab the glowstone that we've been storing up here. Now eventually we're going to have easier ways to gather resources up here than through just having them come up the way they are currently. But that's going to have to wait. So now we need to make the 16K. 4K like this, very similar. Glass up there, engineer, and glowstone. And apply. So now we're going to need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this should be good. So now we have the 16K, which is just what we want. Now, 16K. We still have more recipes, dang. 16K, glass, engineer, and glowstone. Now apply. We now have a 64K cell. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12 should be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 16K and a 64K. Four K, 4, 4, 4, and I have a 16K like that. Now on, because here is where I want to do this. So now the machine can see what each of these items are. Now I also want to be able to craft this, which is going to also require redstone and some iron. That I'm not so worried about. I just want to be able to craft the 64K cell. For right now, I mean, if I wanted to, I could get iron probably up here, but I don't have iron at the moment, so I'm not too worried about it. So I'm going to do this. Might actually go quickly run up how much time? Oh, I got plenty of time. Yeah, I'll just run up real quick. Well, technically run down to the surface real quick and get some iron. Okay, I'm back. Went down to Earth, grabbed us some iron. Now the only problem with this machine currently is that it only is going to export to the orange. Now, there's a way to set it. What I want to do interior. That will send it to the interior. I want that to be interior. This to be interior. This to be interior, and then we want 6K to go simply go to the exterior. So we want iron. Actually, no, we don't want it to go to the exterior. We want interior. We want to add one final recipe. And that's the 64K cell. So we'll go 3 iron, quartz glass, redstone, and you're off. And like that. So now, apply. That's the cell. Okay. 3 iron, quartz glass, redstone, and a 64K cell. There we go. Apply. So we have a 64K cell. And we want that to export to the exterior, and we want 64K to export to the interior. So now I want to click this button, which remembers where current items are placed. So now it will think always that only stone can go here, when in actuality there's no actual items there. So it's going to pull out of this, and it's going to only stick redstone. It should only stick redstone when this is set to interior into that slot. And it'll be the same for over here. We set this, it will only drag out till it fills up these slots. Now the last one we're going to want to move, if I believe I have tape. I don't have tape. How do I store so much glowstone on me? I can. I'm close, but I can do it. Now, 5 and all the glowstone in there. This is active. Now, this is a very complicated setup for a very simple machine. So now these are all sending to the exterior except for this. So now if we say ignored, instant 64K cell. See, and it auto-crafts it, and we never have to worry about items stacking up here. Although we will have to worry about some logic processors apparently. It's active, and boom, look at that. Already crafting two 64K cells. I wonder what it's missing. Oh, it's not getting enough redstone. I need to speed this up. Now, I'm going to turn this off right now. Because that's the only problem, is that we're going to need to be able to quickly excuse me, quickly put in redstone craft. But there you go. We have already gotten, within the short amount of time that I've spent setting this up, which is fairly short, because we've been recording, what, 12 minutes, I think? I have already created two 64K cells, which is very useful. Now, we need to put those cells to work with drives. And the other machine that we need to make, so we have drives. Now, I want to make probably maybe one or two of these on cable, on camera. And then what I'll do is I'll create a bunch more off camera, and then I'll start setting up the Super Soren drive. And I'll set up this first Super Soren drive on camera, and then off camera I'll build up the rest of them, and I will come back, and this will be during the next episode probably. So now that I've done this, I want to explain this gargantuan craziness. So all of AE has to be powered by EU. Usually this can pass through through AE pipes. Most pipes usually only contain 8 channels, since that release now in AE2 they only contain 8 channels, which is annoying because you have to be able to store 8 channels. So that means that it can only connect to 8 machines at one time. Now, each one of these inscribers counts as a machine, and or if we're talking over here, an interface or crystal growth accelerator, or anything, any block that generally will use the AE energy. AE energy. So, and also, so inscribers in the back can receive items in the back, which will send them to the center slot here, and they can also take out the back, which will take out of the center slot, or on the sides you can do the same thing. On the top, it will only insert the top item. In the bottom, it will only insert on the bottom item. Usually they're pretty logical, but sometimes AE isn't. Let's just be honest, AE isn't sometimes. Now, down here, the silicon will go in here, and it will be pressed and sent up. Redstone is always going to be placed in here because of this spruce drawer. Up here, we have the logic, engineering, and calculation presses, creating those certain press, pushing them in here, crafting the item, and all of it being exported into this drawer. Now comes the fun part, explaining the underbelly of this behemoth. So one of the items we need a lot of is silicon. The easy way to get silicon is crushing sand. So to do this, I made the basic crushing factory. Made a sag mill down here. That's taking that is using transfer nodes with super speed upgrades and world interaction upgrades to basically mine cobble at an instant rate, pumping it into the sag mill to always keep it filled with cobble, so that way it will always can craft sand. Now, also sand has a chance of making gravel, which we're just throwing into the trash can. Sand also is needed because currently create Certus Quartz seeds, which we currently need to create pure Certus Quartz, which we currently need to make, which is the only way to make Certus Quartz calculation presses. Eventually, using if I could get magical crops, even though I don't want to use them, I mean they're magical, but if I could use magical crops or maybe possibly steal them off Dion, that's an idea. I can use a seed. I can basically use the seeds to make the ore, which I can then also use. So once I make the ore, break it down, and make the actual crystal itself, which I can then add with another 8 another quartz thing around it to craft pure Certus quartz easy and efficiently. But for now, I just have half my sand going here and some Certus quartz dust to make seeds which go into these 4 crystal growth accelerators, which will accelerate the growth, literally, of seeds by quite a bit. On the bottom here, I needed a way to get those seeds out. So I have an item filter with pure Certus quartz seeds and a world interaction upgrade. I could make it faster, but as time goes by, these only one of them working. I did a failure over here. I'll fix that later. I was wondering why these are so slow. But yeah, when they're actually all working, it'll actually work a lot faster. I'm just being a giant idiot. I'm just gonna throw these over there because there's no way for me to take them. Now, I made a little bit of this converted Fluix cable. Now, getting back onto this table. Now, I wanted a way to easily turn on and off the exporting of silicon, pure Certus quartz, gold, and diamond. So I created up a system with a pulse extender that keeps it on long enough to export all those items, but I also didn't want them on all the time, and I needed a timer, so it would turn on and off. Now, instead of using normal redstone timer, I did use the normal redstone extender, using this timer, set to 2 seconds. In 2 seconds, it will send a pulse, which will send up and turning it on. Wireless, and I do this because inside of the inscribers, it can only hold one item. It can only craft one item at a time, but it can hold on the other end multiple, which though isn't a problem, it's kind of annoying. because sometimes it'll craft too many, and then you'll be stuck with like a bunch that you have to like craft purposefully. It's annoying. So I have a receiver though, just in case I don't feel like turning it on. With a chest down here, just in case that fills with pure Certus quartz. And then over here, we have some of the sand being exported into this redstone furnace to craft glass. That's a lot of stuff to do a very small thing. Now, these wires look awful. Yes. Eventually, once we have the AE system over there, we will be able to shift this down to a quite smaller bit size, probably to the size of a, I'd say, let's see, shrink this down, put one block it there, one block over here, basically down, and I can, if I really want to get tight with it, I can do a 3x3, probably do like a 3x3x3 area and fit all of this down into it. Yeah, a 3x3x3 area can fit all of these machines together easily. Now, granted, it's going to be very tiny, compact, and I won't ever be able to edit anything in there, but it is possible. This is through EnderIO conduits and interfaces that are able to read, and I will basically be able to automate it by putting inside of those interfaces a crafting pattern that basically states, hey, I want to craft a engineer over here, engineer processor. Let's say send one diamond, one redstone, and one silicon, which you'll have stored back up in the system. Probably probably still in a drawer like this and continuously being filled up. Well, the silicon probably. Maybe not so much. And the gold, diamond, and stuff will also be always filling up, but that's another story. And same with the redstone. Basically, it'll send that to all those items to the interface. There will be an export bus on that interface, which will take all of those items out, pump it, separate them out to the different inscribers that they need to go to. The inscribers will all activate with this acceleration upgrades that I have created, that I have put inside of them, which will then all push into here, and then another item conduit coming out of there will export it back into the interface, which will export it back into the system, since that is how interfaces work. And so and then craft all the stuff, and then to craft like 1Ks and 2Ks, we will we'll have it in a system automatically able to do it, and we won't even need this crafter because we can do it through the system itself. Now, that's a lot of information, and I think that's actually the end of the episode. So that is what I did. I know it's very simple, but off screen, I'll make, well, no, next time we'll make some drives. I will have set this thing to run, and I'll probably have like maybe a chest full of 64K cells, or at least I'll have 10 of them, because that's actually quite a bit. I mean, this is still a lot of items for what I will need. So at first, probably the super storage drive will not be filled like at all. I might have one or two like actual drives, because drives can hold up to 10 disks, and 64K cells can hold quite a bit of stuff. Now, sadly, these don't translate into one item. They can hold 63 types of item, and one item, depending on what it is, can use up maybe 2 or 3-ish bytes. A stack usually uses up 300-ish, depending on what it is. So yeah, and most stuff I intend to be storing in storage drawers and using a storage bus to read into, which I will all again explain next time when I explain the super storage drive. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Collision. I will see you all next time as we get into some AE, and then hopefully getting into some better automation that we can do once we have the ability to control the amount of items that we have up here, and we actually get even closer to moving our base up here. See you guys next time though. Bye!